FYI, for youth information, your radio program that tackles the latest trends, information, and issues of the youth of today. FYI, for youth information,
your one-stop shop for youth-oriented talks. We tell about the latest and we break every detail.
FYI, for youth information. Be the first to know. Be among the trendsetters. Be one with us. Kami ang inyong mga kachikas sa hanginan. Dini lamang sa inyong youth-friendly station, DYWC. Your voice, your station.
Paglalayag, inabot ng pagkabagabag, naway mabanaagan ka, hinirang na tala ng umaga. Kahit aluman ng pangamba,
PRAETERITUM. Ubani si Kamix Vens ni ining bagong segment sa For Youth Information, PRAETERITUM, kung diin magisgot siya pipila ka mga panghitabo sa kasaysayan sa simbahan. PRAETERITUM din lamang sa YouTube channel sa For Youth Information. Why were the Jesuits expelled from the Philippines in 1768? Alright, welcome again to the new episode mga kamigs. And today we will be talking about kung bakit pinatalsik ang mga Jesuita sa Pilipinas noong 1768. So, bear with me in this short discussion that you must know in the history of the Philippines, because this topic is inclined to the incoming celebration of our country for the 500th year of Christianity. So, you will know kung bakit napatalsik ang mga Jesuita dito sa Pilipinas noong 1768. Ano yung naging dahilan? What was the primary reasons? Was it that big enough nga kinahanglan yun silang papahawaon? So we will know that later on. So let's go ahead. But before that mga kamings, I will introduce to you again. This segment is PRAETERITUM, a German word which means events in the past. So in my segment, this is one among the 3 segments of the For Youth Information program published in our YouTube channel. So PRAETERITUM, and then the other one is handled by a comics friend that is the Evangelium Reflection, and then Comics Mo Kasismo by Comics Chicks. So the host, which is me, primarily will talk about significant events in the history of the Catholic Church. So please follow us and support us with our segments. Alright, so I will start to tell you mga kamigs, ano tong origin or the history of the Jesuits. This is one of the orders, one of the major orders of the Catholic Church, religious order, one of the biggest. So level in numbers, I guess, if not really that, to Franciscans, Dominicans, Augustinians, among others. Jesuits is also a big religious order. So this order was founded by Ignatius de Loyola. He was a Spanish soldier turned priest in August 1534, and the order he led was approved by Pope Paul III in 1540. So the headquarters of Jesuits is in Rome, and they are known of this motto, ad majorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. So now you know. And then the arrival in the Philippines on 1581. So basically, they were third, who arrived among the order of those missionaries who arrived in the Philippines. The first were the Augustinians, second were the Franciscans, and third are the Jesuits. So the first missionaries of Jesuits was Fathers Alonso Sanchez and Antonio Cedeño, and they were from the province of Mexico. They were the custodians of the Ratio Studiorum, so the Jesuit education developed around 1559. Well, we are well aware that the Jesuits are very successful, no, in their apostolate for educational institutions. So when was they banished from the country? So that was on 1768. So this was, I don't know, this was the order of Pope Clement XIV when he published a papal brief, Dominus ac Redemptor, for the suppression of the Jesuit society. So it was the order, no, of the Pope. What was the reason of why did the Pope ordered or make this order to suppress the Jesuits? So in February 27, 1767, King Charles III of Spain had implemented the order banishing the Society of Jesus from Spain and the Spanish dominions like Philippines. So they were the order, or the order of the King of Spain has arrived in the Philippines on May 1968, so medyo na delay. So the transportation happened between 1769 already and 1771. So they were transported to Spain and then deported to Italy. So their possessions left, no, kaning diri sa mga churches and convents, their possessions was declared forfeited to the crown, except the obras pias. The obras pias is this is the charitable foundation left, no, which maintained as ecclesiastical property. And actually, whereas some other possessions of the Jesuits was transferred to other religious missionaries. So what was the cause of their expulsion? One, it was politically motivated. Why politically motivated? Because during this time, the Jesuits has a strong influence to the kings and to the Pope as well, because they are loyal to the Pope. They are carrying with them the liberal ideas, because in the Americas, in the Latin America, they fought against the abuses of the conquistadores, mga colonizers. They defended the human rights of those natives against the abuses of conquistadores. So aside from that, they impart liberal ideas, because if these missionaries will defend the human rights, it's somehow new. It's a new idea coming from them, that these people should be defended and be treated equally, because they are also human beings. If you know the movie The Mission, that was the perfect example. The Jesuits, defending the rights of the natives. And then one common thing is that they trade to support their missions. So imagine nahimo silang usab mga traders in order to support their missions. Imagine they have to go from here to the other nations to support their mission area, so they need financial support as well, and that made them rivals to the traders, which are primarily sponsored by empires, by other governments. So they became rivals. So that made them a target of criticisms, and as well as kasuko sa uban usab nga nasagasaan nila. Of course, they protected the human rights as well, as I said earlier. So this was the cause. So basically, they wanted to have a control. For example, the empire, the Spanish Empire, the Portuguese Empire, and other empires as well, involved of the missions with the missions. So they wanted to have total control, especially in the Philippines, total control where there's no one intervening. Especially the mga Jesuita during this time are very strong and influential. They became advisors and confessors to the king and higher positions in the monarch. So during this moment, if they will continue to impart or to plant seeds of liberal ideas like equality, justice, etc. It was said also that they were the one, no, who fueled the the nationalism in the Mexico and Peru, I guess, because that was a domino effect, no, the fall of the Spanish Empire in the continental Americas, Mexico, and Peru. That's what, as far as I can remember, because they planted that ideas of liberal ideas. So if there is this ideas roaming around the domain of an empire, it would later on, I don't know, it will later on surprise the forces of the empire, because sa kalit-kalit ra na ay mo kalit og alsa, then mo kalit og protesta, or will revolt to the abuses, because there is this liberal ideas. Kaya imagine these domains of the empire remained silent, remained abused, remained dinaog-daog, and then remained submissive to the empire, to the forces that controlled them, that sowed injustice, and a lot more. So these are the reasons why they were expelled, or they were banished from the countries. But later on, they got restored after how many years? Well, they were restored later on, because there was a realization in the end of the Pope as well, that it was a mistake. Although the Pope listened to the kings, no, to the monarchs, who are also influential to the Pope as well. So that's why they were heard, and that's the reason why the Jesuits was suppressed. So, moto siya mga kamigs, hopefully you learned something from this episode of the Praeteritum. So, thank you mga kamigs. God bless o daghang salamat.